If you want to be a more present Nana, an involved Nana, a genuine service-oriented Nana, be intentional. Intention is a word with many meanings, but at its core, living intentionally means you're living a connected, beautiful life. Studio 5 contributor Mary Jo Bell will tell us what an intentional Nana is, what she does, how she lives, because she is one. We love and celebrate that in you, my friend. It's so good to have you back in studio.
I'm going to give you a hug. I don't know if it's legal, but
it's legal. We hug all the time.
I just love this girl. Okay.
Oh, that goes both ways.
We love our Nanas, right? And we love our grandpas.
Listen, we're going to try to get through this with dry eyes, and I don't know if that's going to be possible either, but we've been discussing this word all week, the intentional friend, wife, mom. What is it about the role of Nana, though, that does require that intentionality?
Right. So Nanas are sort of the gatekeepers. They're the matriarchs. They've got this ability to reach into hearts in a very unique and special way. They can leave legacy statements for their grandchildren that are really powerful. And when I say legacy statement, I mean the opportunity to share words and phrases that will be associated with them even after the grandparents pass on into the next world.
You hear that word, you hear that phrase, and your heart immediately goes to that relationship.
Yes, yes. And it's lovely that we can intentionally plan that. We can think about, what do I want to leave with them? I don't mean a legacy foundation of money or of gold, but of golden words that sink into their hearts. So for example, when I was a young girl, a grandparent shared with me, life is the flicker of a candle. And that statement, it was so short, but it stuck with me, and I thought, man, life really is short. I need to live it with intentionality. And it just impacted me for decades. So what can we say, what can we pepper the decades with that they'll always remember, that is special to them? And there are a lot of categories under which we can create this brand. So maybe we're people of faith. Maybe we can say, share our testimonies, or maybe it's a scripture. Right now we have grandchildren that are sharing the scripture with me, and I'm sharing it with them, we're memorizing it. Be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10. Or maybe it's a philosophical statement. Maybe it's humility is your greatest tool and pride is your greatest enemy. Maybe it's a poem. So I've shared this with you before, but it bears sharing again. When I leave my grandchildren, I have a little poem that I say with them. And it's, my Nana has to go away, but she'll be back most any day. At any moment, I may see my Nana coming back to me. And they think, oh, it's just for this trip and we're sad and we're crying. But they don't know what I'm really saying is, I'll see you on the other side.
We're 3 minutes in and you got me, sister. We're 3 minutes in.
Sorry. And we'll welcome you home.
Are you customizing these legacy phrases or these legacy statements for certain grandchildren, or are you saying, no, this is me and I'm sharing this with all of my Nana kids?
What a fantastic question. I think that might be a goal, a refinement goal for me for later, but for now, I'm sort of going to a private place, pondering for what can I offer to everyone. But as they grow and we observe them, I think that might be a good idea.
Legacy statements. Let's be intentional about the words that we leave and the phrases that we share. You also want us to be intentional about service in this role of Nana.
This is so fun. So as we get quiet Nanas and we just kind of go inside, and grandpas too, what can we do to help them serve? Because service, really, as we know, is the antidote for the self-centeredness that creeps into all of our lives, that we're all drawn towards. So how can we help them as they approach, sorry, it's emotional, as they approach those teenage years where that's going to be front and center? We can create a cousin club. That's what we've done. And it can be through long distance too. We can talk about that at a time. But we get together with the cousins and we talk about who needs help at school. Who needs a friend? How can we help someone? Who needs extra love in our family?
So the cousin club at the core is rooted in service. You're looking for ways to push that.
It's a service cousin club. That's exactly right. And so we just had our first field trip. We went on a little field trip and we got in the cousin cruiser, which is just our car, but we packed them in there and we'd stop at every little neighborhood house that we could and deliver gifts. So that was really fun. And what's fun about that too, that I didn't remember would happen, but whenever you serve, there's that byproduct of bonding, right?
Yeah.
And in that bonding, there's a lot of silliness and laughter. So we got so much more out of it than just the opportunity to give someone a gift. It was beautiful.
They were feeling the fruits of that service at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old.
Right, and hopefully planting seed for a lifetime of this is how you live. This is the addiction you want. Service is the addiction you want.
Service is the addiction you want. How can Nanas be more intentional about their boundaries? What do you mean by that?
Right. So it's great to get quiet again and think, what are non-negotiables for me that are firm and kind and loving for myself and for them? So one is I will never yell. That's one of my things. But I will also expect that they won't raise their voices. And so I have a fire hose of chatter when all my 10 that are close come over and they all, Nana, Nana, Nana. And I have to say, okay, guys, here are the rules. We don't interrupt each other. And we don't yell, and we say please and thank you in our family. And we say please and thank you in our family is actually another legacy statement. So that's what we do.
The follow-up comes there as well. So setting Nana's ground rules at home for the kind of mood and vibe and memories you want to make together.
Exactly.
I love that so much. So if viewers were to get one thing out of this conversation, Mary Jo, what would be the bottom line? Intentionality in grandparenting.
Intentionality in grandparenting is based on love. So the acronym would be L for listen, and listening with our eyes. I think that is so important. When I look at you, Brooke, and you look at me, there can be an opportunity there for spirit-to-spirit contact.
Well, there's synchronicity. Like research shows that you are more internally connected when those physical, matches are made.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
That's right. No wonder when you also add like, an arm around a child or a
touch.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So we want that spirit-to-spirit contact because we can make those meaningful, impactful, and memorable moments.
So L is listen.
So L is listen. O is observe. Grandparents are sort of like Yodas in the shadows. They just sort of pop out, but they're observing all the time, and every once in a while they impart a little wisdom and then they retreat. So we can observe what are their qualities that we want to validate.
I keep in my purse a note from my grandpa that he wrote me after Thanksgiving, and it said, "Dear Brookie," I could almost quote it, and I won't, but he said, "I was watching you at Thanksgiving," and he went on, to list all of these things he saw in me at 18 years old. And I carry that with me today, every day.
Oh
so
my
that
gosh.
observation from an outside basis is so sticky, right? And it's so meaningful.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful.
It's so sweet.
That's so beautiful. And it's not just anyone, it's not some random person, it was your grandpa that did that. And so grandparents are like royalty. Like what they say carries gravitas. It's weight, and it means so much. And I love how it's still, all these years later, has meant so much to you.
Oh gosh, why did I even wear mascara today? V is for validate.
Right, so then we can validate that and we can encourage that, which is E, encourage that. And I'd love to close with that song, What Was I Made For? That new song that just won Best Song of the Year.
Yeah.
What were they made for? We're watching. What gifts and talents and beautiful things like your grandpa wrote were they made for, to bring into this world, to help this world grow and become better? And we can validate and we can encourage.
Oh, Mary Jo, we love you so dearly. Where can we learn more and see more from you?
MaryJoBell.com. There are my books there. I have a new book coming out, Nana's, just for you. We'll talk about that in the future.
We're excited, and we'll link you over to her website from ours. Thank you for the heart boost today. We appreciate it.